Good morning, all. It is 5:15. I've been up for about an hour. And welcome to Friday Fast Talk. By the way, did you notice what I did there? Did you see the my intro? Did you watch it? My intro. I changed some things around. I'm gonna be changing things around from here to there. It brings me joy to change my channel the way I want it to be changed. Anyways, if you see different changes here and there, it's gonna happen. Let me know if you like them or don't like them in the comments below, because I'm here for you, kids. Hey, buddies, it's Beth. I am coming to you on Friday Fast Talk. Friday Fast Talk. So Friday Fast Talk was my first off-topic Thursday, and it went so well. It is my highest watched video. I'm going to put it right there. That link is going to be right there to watch that video. My first fasting video. So, yeah. So I couldn't not make it a weekly thing, just because it was just my most watched. So, welcome to the first Friday Fast Talk. I have so much to say about fasting. When you work as long as I've worked to control your weight, starting at grade 5 or 6, it's probably 6. You learn a lot, and I learned a lot, and I learned what to avoid. I learned what works, and folks, I've never, ever met anything that works better for me than fasting. As a 41-year-old adult, I have never, ever in my life felt this good physically with as little work. I mean, don't get me wrong. I need to get one of those little tripod things. I mean, I do have the tripod thing. I just didn't want to get up. It's right over there. See? I just had to start talking. So yeah, this is just, it's almost effortless. I don't want to say it's effortless because, I mean, anything worth doing hard is worth the reward. Yeah, I like that. Anything worth doing hard is worth the reward. Does that make sense? I just came up with that. Or did I? Maybe it's out there somewhere else. Anyways, folks, yeah, so I'm supposed to be talking about sugar, and I will talk about sugar. But it's not even 6 o'clock, and I've already stepped on the scale twice because I'm a scale freak. I love stepping on the scale. It's crazy. I know. And I am starting to drop weight again. For anybody who's lost weight, you know that there's a plateau that always is. It's inevitable. You're gonna hit that plateau. You're gonna stay. You're gonna maintain, and that's where people sometimes drop off. And I was at a plateau for a few months, probably May, which makes sense because I had a lot of stress, and now maybe I'm releasing that stress, which releases your fat. I don't know. Anyway, I just had to get on it, and I had to start talking because I'm thinking. So, yeah, let's get on to talking about sugar. I don't know why I don't know what's my point. See, this happens a lot with my therapist. I'll start talking, then I'll say, what was I talking about? And she'll bring me back in. See, that's why everyone needs therapy. Anyways, I'm going to stop shaking this camera and we'll see you somewhere else in the house. Stop. It's not stopping. Oh my gosh, guys. Hey, good morning. I don't really like the quality of this video, but I couldn't not say it. Everyone, we need to start out with repeating after me. Sugar is the devil. Sugar is the devil. You are failing because of sugar. Why? Because sugar is... That's right. It's the devil. All sugar wants to do is recruit more sugar. Sugar wants sugar. If you have any sugar in your blood, it'll want friends. Sugar sucks. Sugar is the devil. Let's talk about why. Oh, goodness sakes, not again. Fat doesn't act like sugar. Fat doesn't want friends. Fat just sits there, waits for you. Waits for you to need it. It's just stored energy. That's all fat is stored energy at the ready. Yep. Fat's an asshole, don't get me wrong. But sugar is a dick. The easiest thing we can do for ourselves when we're not feeling right, when we need a little boost or a pick-me-up, when we're bored, any range of emotion, when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're frustrated, when we're stressed, we eat. We usually eat sugar. A lot of us usually eat sugar. Sugar's not always sweet. Sometimes sugar's salty. Sometimes sugar tastes like beer or wine. So, to review, sugar's a jerk. Sugar wants more sugar. Sugar makes us feel happy and good. Sugar's the easiest thing we can do to feel happy and good. Sugar's addicting. Yeah. Let's go inside. What do I mean when I say sugar can be salty? Well, carbohydrates. Carbs. They look like potato chips and Cheetos and Fritos and all those other yummy, delicious snacks that are crunchy. Those are sugar, but they're salty. Yep, that's true. So, my biggest obstacle is the potato chip. I could pass, in a regular state of mind, I could pass up sugar, and I'll go right for the potato chip. So that's what I mean when I say sugar can be salty, because eventually, if we don't use it fast enough, it'll turn into glucose and glycogen, then fat, because let's face it, it will. Yeah, it will. All right. So, first of all, this right here, Beth, not a doctor. Not a doctor, not a nutritionist. No schooling for that. I may have taken a couple of credits in high school on nutrition, but I don't even think any of them mean to hill of beans because, well, the stuff they were teaching, I don't believe anymore. So no doctor here. Please check with your doctor, okay? And then if I'm wrong on any of this stuff, I encourage you to set me straight below in the comments, okay? All this information I have dug up in books or on the online, the Google, just other sources that I've tried to re-verify. And then I've been doing this for a while, trying to lose weight. It's been a couple decades, a good 3. Almost a good 3. So, I know it's common sense. It feels common sense. It's all about me. Oh, I gotta plug in my battery. Stand by. Okay, so let's start with glucose, right? Sugar turns to glucose. Glucose turns to glycogen. All right, and that's how it works. Okay, and this is what I found fascinating. At any one point in our existence, we can carry at least a pound of glycogen. So we have 1 pound of ready to burn, let's do this glycogen. I think. Yeah, sounds right. All right. But for every 1 pound of glycogen, your body can hold 3 to 4 pounds of water. Water. So you could be walking around right now, sitting down watching me. Thank you, by the way. Subscribe, like, all that jazz. You could be sitting down just holding on to 8 pounds of glycogen and water. It's a true story. Don't believe me? Ask someone else. And if they don't believe me either, get the facts straight and then let me know so I can set my story straight. All right? So now if you think about it, sugar is the stuff we burn first. And then after we get through all that, and it just goes down. And then, so we burn off the sugar, glucose, and then we burn off the glycogen, right? So you got to work through all this glucose, all this stuff, before you get to the glycogen. And then the glycogen, if it just sits there long enough and keeps on piling on, and if your body doesn't use it, that will turn to fat. It'll turn to fat. So, yeah, so sugar, glucose, glycogen, fat. Yeah? Are you with me still? Because like sometimes when I'm talking about this, it makes sense for like a second and then it like goes away. And then it comes back and then it goes away again. I'm not a biology person. So I wrote, a lot of notes. Well, I always write notes. Let's see here. All right, we got through that. Okay, so the whoosh, right? So here's the fat losing. Wait, I don't want to talk about that yet. Huh. I guess I'll talk about that now. So, okay, so when you're losing weight, it usually, if you're paying as close attention to a lot of people, a lot of me, when you're losing weight, it tends to happen all at once. And get this. So, a fat cell, and this is outside of sugar, this is just bonus. A fat cell, when you lose fat, when you work off the fat cell will start to replace whatever is inside the fat cell with water. True. I think. Yeah, so the fat cell, as I understand it, will start to replace with water. And then as soon as there's a bunch of these fat cells, or they get all full, or their party's over, what have you. That's right. And for that very reason, I lost like 3 or 4 pounds overnight. Fat? I mean, it used to be. But, so that's kind of how you lose weight, kind of. I mean, it kind of goes in reverse, right? So you have to do the sugar, and then you don't burn the glucose, you don't burn the carbs, the glucose, and then that turns into the glycogen, and then that turns into the fat. Well, when you burn it, it goes backwards. It goes, burns the fat. Wait, that doesn't make sense. But regardless, it burns the fat, changes into water, and then water flushes out. You know what? I don't know if that makes sense. See, that's the thing. It makes sense? Doesn't make sense. Okay. So, insulin resistance. That's me. Insulin sounds like sugar, glucose, all that fun stuff. So, insulin resistance is when your body doesn't work as well digestively as everyone else's. You just don't break down the insulin as fast. And what happens? You store that glucose. You don't lose the glucose. You don't waste out the glucose. I'm insulin resistant, so it takes a long time for me to burn out the glucose. So the longer, and the reason, the whole common sense when I put it all together is thinking back, way back when I used to control my weight I would have, like, if I had a celebration, right? If I had a big celebration, I would eat like this huge meal, maybe a little alcohol. And then I caught on to the fact that if excluding hangovers and all that stuff, which I was never horrible at, but if I had a normal fun night, and if I didn't eat really crappy, if I had like stuck to a salad and water, I wouldn't gain weight. I mean, I would, but it wouldn't be as noticeable. I would just realize I lost it. So I adapted this. All right, just don't party 2 nights in a row. And I mean, I probably gained weight slower. So it just takes me, Beth, longer to process this food. So knowing all that, right? I don't know if all that put together makes sense or whatnot. Knowing all that, and then knowing that I've been told and taught and ingrained in my head that you have to eat 6 small meals or just small bites. You got to keep eating all the time. You got to keep eating. Well, some people, my husband is one of them. Yes, that is true. They have to always feed their metabolism. Beth, my body doesn't do, well, no one's body does. So your body cannot physically take in nutrient or take in and use. So your body can only do one thing. It's either taking in or it's using the energy. So see where I'm going, maybe? So here I am taking in 6 meals a day, and my body keeps on storing all these meals. And since I keep on taking in, my body's it just keeps on bringing all this stuff in. And then the only time my body uses all this whatever I've put in it is when I'm sleeping. Makes sense to me. So, yeah. So, all I did was change from eating all the time, like I had been told was good for my body. You won't be hungry if you keep on eating that celery or that handful of almonds or whatever. I mean, everyone meant well, but our bodies are different. I mean, did we used to eat like this? Did we used to, pack our little granola bars? No, we used to kill something, huddle around, eat till we were big, walk another day, do it all again. I don't know. I don't know if I got off on a tangent. I just try and talk about sugar and how it likes more sugar and how it's addictive and how it, wow, I started talking about a lot of different things. I'm going to check back on my notes. Let's go somewhere else too. I'm kind of bored of this whole thing. So, the farther you get away from your sugar intake, the easier it is to control your sugar intake. And it's tricky, right? It's not like your stomach will be growling, right? So it's a chemical in your mind, in your brain. Just the other day, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I've been eating a lot of sugar, and the last couple of weeks, I've been fasting, but I haven't been strict, right? I think I would maybe open up my window around 2 p.m., 3 p.m., and now I'm good until 4, and I always close my window. I'll be at least at 8, latest 9 o'clock. Otherwise, I'm uncomfortable when I sleep. So, and I noticed that the farther I get away from sugar, the easier it is to avoid the sugar. Like, I used to just get in bed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta eat something else. I'm not going to be able to eat for 20 hours You know, I'm not going to eat for 20 hours. I want to find something else to eat. Yesterday was the first day I realized that I haven't been craving. I haven't been wanting that. You know, you don't even have to crave sugar. You just have to crave food, right? Because when you're using up the sugar, when you're using up the glucose and all that, when your body's burning all this stuff, it's like, what the heck? What the heck's going on? So it wants to hold on to everything. And guys, I know it's hard. Like, trust me, I know it's hard. It's the hardest thing in the world to not indulge in, not, you know, to break an addiction, right? To break a cycle. But I guarantee you that sugar, stay away from sugar. Even, you know what's worse is like the stuff, I don't even know if it's worse, it's just equally bad, is the stuff that pretends to be sugar, right? Even if the calories don't matter in this point, guys. Like, if you're drinking a Diet Coke and your brain, right? It's not your stomach. I mean, a little portion of it has to do with your brain, and even your gut. They're saying your gut is your second brain. It'll think you're getting sugar. It'll think you're rewarding it. It'll be happy because your taste buds and your flavors are be like, yay, party time, we're tasting stuff. So even fake sugar can trick your body into holding on that fat. So what's the point? What's the point of having fake sugar? I'd rather just have the real thing. So I don't do fake sugar anymore. I used to not even be able to notice it. That's another thing, is I can tell when my sugar levels are down, like in my body. My husband, you know, he doesn't have a problem with anything. You know, he'll drink a glass of Coca-Cola before he goes to bed, and he'll sleep like a baby. And sugar does nothing to him. He can metabolize steel. So, yeah, I forgot where I was going with my husband. Like, totally forgot what I was saying. I remember. So my husband always orders like the Coke and the, you know, from McDonald's or whatever. He always orders the soft drinks, and I never do. But I always want to taste it. I just always do. I always want to taste it. Just a little sip. Well, I usually end up looking like this. And no, I'm not going to do that again. Now that is after I have put some distance between myself and sugar. If I have not been putting some distance between me and sugar, I could drink half of a large Coke in one sip, like one gulp. I could. It's that easy, and it tastes delicious. It quenches my thirst. It settles a craving. It's the most delicious thing. Because you know why? Because it's sugar. Okay. No, really, guys, it's because it's sugar. It's sugar, and it wants other sugar, and it's rewarding you for bringing other sugar. Sugar's going to fight back, guys. Sugar's going to want to be in your body. And the good thing is that fight doesn't last long. You can win that fight. You got to avoid the sugar. It'll probably take at least 2 weeks, maybe 3, depending on how built up it is. But guys, that's fasting for me. That's why I fast, because my body it needs to digest one meal a day. It can't not one meal a day. I mean, 1 meal a day is perfect, but it can't keep on working on the sugar like everyone else's body works on the sugar, because that's what it boils down to. And you know what the worst sugar is? I'm gonna tick some people off here. The worst sugar, it's alcohol sugar. I'm sorry. It's beer, it's wine, shots, seltzers, and ciders. Ooh, that's probably the worst. The sweeter, the worst, probably. So, sorry about that. And that's when I find that I don't lose any weight, is when I'm consuming a fair amount of alcohol, which leads to a fair amount of sugar, which leads to, you know what, guys? It doesn't lead to weight gain. For me, it's all about maintaining. So, yeah, I don't remember the last time I've gained weight. Sorry, I know a lot of you guys have. it's hard. The pandemic has been hard. So, all right, guys, I am gonna wrap this up because I don't know what else to say about sugar. I mean, I could go on about sugar, and it may or may not make sense, and it may or may not be wrong. But it's how I understand sugar to be. It's how I've just learned that I could eat and eat and eat as many French fries and cheeseburgers as I wanted, but a gummy bear or a gummy bear or a gummy worm. I love gummy worms. I like the bears better. Anyways, no bueno. No bueno. Chips, that's a carb, and carb it'll start all that, but it takes a little longer to turn into a carb. It's not it's not much longer. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna cut it short because not short. I mean, it's not short, but I'm gonna cut it off because I feel like I'm just venting at this point. And next week on my fast, I talk about maintaining weight. Yeah. So if you've like lost a ton of weight using other means like keto, what else is there? There's a lot of Mediterranean. There's a lot of restrictive diets that that really are good. Like they're really good and they help and everything. But they become too restrictive. And then when you're done being the restrictive, then the weight piles on. So I'm going to talk about maintaining next week. That's, I think, probably most likely going to talk about maintaining next week, but I will definitely see you over the weekend for a weekend prep. I have already started on that. I think weekend prep is going to turn into the day that I post all of my weekday prep videos, clips. I mean, I put them all together. I've already started, actually. I already have started my weekend prep video. It's not cheating. No, it's not cheating. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. No, I'll see you this weekend. And then Newsday Tuesday is next. And then I've updated Off Topic Thursday because I don't want to be an off-topic person. I'm not going to lie. I've changed Thursday to Anxious Thursdays, where I just go over my anxiety, or anxiety in general, because people might get bored of me. No. Who are we kidding? I'm a blast. All right. And then, so we have the Thursday, and then we're back to Friday Fast Talk. So I'll have a good weekend, and I'll see you after I put all my prep videos together on the weekend. Oh, yeah. Like, subscribe, because really, who does it hurt? Really, just don't do the bell. If you don't want to do the bell, I get it. We're not there yet. But subscribe. I mean, you can like and subscribe, right? At least like. That would be awesome.